We're live. Yes.
This is pretty exciting.
This is pretty
It
exciting.
is.
I'm really stoked.
Live on the internet. I can't even believe it. Back in the days of Real Player, did you ever imagine that we would be live speaking to the internet?
I did.
Oh, okay.
That's all I thought about.
That's all.
That was my life. You know, that was my everything.
Yeah.
And here we are. I've achieved all my dreams. Where else do I have to go?
Nowhere.
Why is the word hidden spelled wrong on your shirt?
What's that?
Why is the word hidden spelled wrong on your shirt?
Because
Or is it supposed to be hidden?
it's Hedon.
Oh, Hedon? Okay.
Japanese name.
Okay.
Why
Hedon
is Stewart spelled wrong in your last name?
Hedon Intelligence is a Japanese name?
Well, no. It's Hedon is the name.
Yeah, but I understand the phrase.
Well, then clearly you need to watch more Kamen Rider 01.
Probably not.
And then
Well, the N is supposed to be an O. It's Hideo Intelligence, you see.
That doesn't help me.
As in Kojima.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, okay.
It makes about as much sense as it makes right now.
Oh my goodness.
Hello and welcome to episode 831 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, October 11th, 2022. I'm your host, Chris Johnston, and with me, as always, celebrating today or this weekend because it's Canadian Thanksgiving. It's Mr. Greg Stewart.
Hello.
How's it going there?
I thought you were just saying that I was celebrating today.
Yeah,
what are you celebrating
celebrate
today?
every day, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be?
I mean, as you get older, every day becomes a little more important, I guess. So
That's true. Yeah. I saw that you were
deep frying turkey.
turkeys.
Yeah. Deep frying turkey.
Oh my.
That's
Which,
good.
by the way, if it goes wrong, it goes catastrophically wrong.
I've seen the YouTube videos. Yeah.
Pretty dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't doing it. I was standing at a safe distance
Behind the blast shield.
ready to eat when it was finished. But no, it's something that my extended family has been doing for like probably 20 years now.
Oh,
A bunch of them go down to a campground about an hour away
the
from
turkey's
here.
probably really overcooked.
And they just started deep frying turkeys, and it's like a big outdoor Thanksgiving dinner.
Nice.
Very nice.
It's good stuff. So they're pretty, they're kind of old pros at it by now.
Yeah.
They're pretty careful with everything. So yeah.
Are you going to do
Tasty,
this
very
again
tasty.
for the real Thanksgiving?
We just did.
Oh, jeez.
In about a month?
This is why everyone hates us, CJ.
One of the many
I know, but it's a
reasons why
recurring
everyone
joke.
hates
We
us.
have to continue, right? We
And
can't.
who's calling? Greg's getting a call.
It's the turkey they deep fried. Yeah. All right. And joining me
Turkey
from the
salesman.
great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Please don't eat any of our turkeys. Oh my gosh. Greg's FaceTiming.
Yes.
You know, we used to think it was bad when Greg Ford would watch football during the show, and now Greg's just having FaceTime conversations.
Yeah.
Good luck editing all that out of the audio.
Oh, no,
I know
you
you
didn't
won't.
mute that?
I muted it here, but I didn't mute it.
No. Okay.
Oh,
I won't
dear.
edit it out at all. It'll
I know you won't.
remain in the show. Yeah. That's how we do it here.
It's Zen tight,
Yeah.
Greg.
We should just restart.
Hello and welcome to
No, I'm just
episode
kidding.
800.
I don't care.
Alrighty.
How you doing, CJ?
I am doing great, Phil.
That's good to
Absolutely
hear.
great. Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Playing some video games, just enjoying everything. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
I see your old pal Kanye West is in the news, your old school chum.
I haven't been paying attention. I don't know why he's in the news.
Not
Do I-
paying
I don't think
attention
I
is probably
wanna
the
know.
best idea.
I
It
don't
ain't
think I
great.
want to know.
It
But,
ain't great.
Not
It's probably
Not
beginning a
shocked
Senate
at it.
run.
Oh, Well, should we just dip right into video game news? Is this what I'm hearing? That,
I love a
don't-
dip.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd take Phil's Kanye references. Let's talk about video games.
Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, we're gonna do just that anyway. So, Mario movie. We finally
Woohoo!
No, wrong
saw
voice.
the trailer
Still the wrong voice.
Let's have a dance off for you and
Via-
me.
Still the
via
wrong voice.
Nintendo Direct, where they played the about a 2.5 minute clip. Well, like a trailer.
They
That's a
call
trailer.
those trailers.
Yeah,
It's a
it
trailer.
wasn't a
Yeah.
clip. Yeah.
Yeah, not a clip.
So
movie
how long? I didn't
trailer.
watch the direct. How long was the direct? Please tell me it was like a 2-hour run up to the 2.5 minute trailer.
No, it was about like 8.5 minutes or 9
Oh, okay.
minutes or so. You didn't watch the direct, then you missed the amazing little like phone handheld FaceTime message from Chris Pratt.
They got him to do a cameo.
They got him to do a cameo video, and
I
it's
wonder if they did it through Cameo.
maybe they did. Yeah. But he talked about how he remembers stomping on Koopas in the arcade
Okay.
on the Nintendo. He played it on the Nintendo, which I'm sure
So I'm sure the internet has gone berserk over. 'Cause how
it's
dare
not,
he not remember something that happened 40 years
that's
ago?
not under brand
perfectly?
guidelines. No,
They are
you don't
very
call something
upset.
the Nintendo. You
You mean like we all
Nintendo
called it?
Entertainment System control deck.
You mean like we all called it 40 years ago?
Exactly.
The Nintendo?
I have seen
Well,
people
35 years ago.
lambasting him for claiming that he played, stomped Koopas in the original Mario.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which, of course, in I think in most people's, in the general public's mind,
Yeah.
the original Mario is
Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Well, the original Mario was Mario Brothers, and there aren't Koopas in that game. And then someone
cares?
points out, well, there are turtles.
There are turtles, but they're
They're
called shell creepers.
But those are called shell creepers.
Which
Can
I
you
didn't know
believe-
until somebody else pointed it out.
I was gonna say, which means that's something
No
that
idea.
most of us nerds who called him out probably learned that for the first time.
No, I probably
Because
would
of
have made the same thing. probably would have said,
Can you
Koopas.
believe this Hollywood celebrity doesn't know the difference between a Koopa Trooper and a shell creeper from a 40-year-old arcade game?
yeah. Maybe he played the Play Choice 10 version of Super Mario Brothers back in the arcade.
Or maybe who
that-
friggin' cares? And
Or
he's
maybe
crying
who
himself to
freaking
sleep on his
cares?
You know what?
pile of money.
Hey, you're both right.
That's also true.
As he said that he had dreamed of playing this role his entire
Sure.
life, which I don't.
That seems a bit
That's a-
suspect.
Maybe he's a
That's
big
such a
Maybe he was a big
PR
Bob
line.
Hoskins fan. Maybe he looked up to Bob
19-year-old
Hoskins.
Chris Pratt. Man,
We all know that he really wanted to be Sonic the Hedgehog,
I wish I could be
Who
Mario.
wouldn't?
and Ben Schwartz got that gig.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was pretty terrible cameo-esque video from Pratt. But then we got to see Jack Black, who hammed it up as only Jack Black can for the camera. And it was very nice. And we got to see the trailer. So we got to see Bowser taking on the penguins from Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I will say, out of everything, that was the weirdest part to me. Was that we're in the
Was that little
penguin
battle?
kingdom? I didn't understand that at all. But I mean, I don't care. Like, I don't really care either way. But it's just when they came out of the castle, I was like, oh, okay, penguins.
Well, he's conquering the Mushroom Kingdom.
That's right.
Yeah,
You know.
but whatever. Sure.
I was delighted to learn that the King Penguin was voiced by Carrie Payton,
Hmm.
who is among many other roles that Carrie Payton has done throughout his life. He plays Cyborg on Teen Titan, on the old Teen
does he?
Titans cartoon, and on
Oh.
Teen Titans Go.
Excellent.
That's pretty
Yes,
great.
Carrie Payton is amazingly talented. I love Carrie Payton.
That is good. That's good.
So.
And we also, of course, see Mario fall into the Mushroom Kingdom and ask himself, "What is this place?" And
In a faintly Italian accent.
very faintly, not
Faintly
even
New York.
Italian. No.
Yeah, sorry.
I like New York accent,
Yeah.
really.
Okay, you know what? You just pissed off most of New York.
Uh-oh.
I'm guessing there's no such thing as a New York accent.
No?
No, you got to pick one of the, what are they, boroughs?
One of the
Is that what
boroughs?
they're called?
Okay, Bronx.
Yeah, there you
Let's
go.
just go Bronx.
You're probably
'cause
wrong, but
Rumble
at
in
least
the
you picked
Bronx.
a borough.
All right, Brooklyn accent.
There you go.
If I remember correctly, though, the Bronx looks a lot like Vancouver.
Only in the movies.
Oh, okay.
Only in the best movie ever made. Rumble in the
Double Dragon?
Hovercraft.
I love that movie. That movie's so good.
That movie is a lot of fun.
If you've not seen Rumble in the Bronx, please stop this podcast right now and do yourself a favor and find it.
I think it's fair to say most people have stopped this podcast already.
As long as it's to watch Rumble in the Bronx.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
fine
okay.
with that. Yeah. Our boss is not White Tiger. Glance. I love it. So good. The best part of it is that they had to redub the movie in English, even though it's in English, because they've thrown away like the Dolby.
Is that the
English
best part?
version.
Come on.
they
That's
released
not the
it
best
in-
part.
It's one of the best parts.
I just my favorite part of that is still when Jackie Chan admonishes all of them by calling them garbage.
You were
And
all
as he's
garbage.
leaving, like the head of the gang turns to one of his minions, like, did he really mean that?
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Well, that was if I remember correctly, that was after Jackie agreed that he would love to sit down and have tea with everyone if they would
Yes.
Yeah.
if they would give up their
But it just
punkish ways.
Oh my god.
Did he really mean that he's going to sit down and have tea with us?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
great.
he did.
Such a great
Yeah.
line.
Indeed.
Really mean that?
Doesn't someone get thrown into like a wood chipper
Yes.
in that movie?
I
And
don't
Yes,
they're hauling
the-
around like a bag of the remnants.
What
Yeah.
are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that happens in Rumble in the
Yeah,
Bronx.
one of the-
I mean,
one
they
of,
don't
like, the-
show it, but
One of the mob
It's
guys
implied.
throws one of the gang members into like one of those wood shredder things.
yeah, it's two of the thugs that we're working with.
White Tiger?
Glance.
What's that guy's name? Anthony?
Oh yeah. Anthony, he was the leader of the gang, right? He was like the head punk dude.
No,
No,
I don't think so. Anthony is the batter up guy.
Oh, that's right.
Batter up.
Yeah, he was one of the main punks, but not the
Big
leader.
baseball fan.
Not the leader, no.
You're gonna die.
That's the one.
That's
yeah.
the one. He's the one who gets smacked in the bare ass with a car aerial.
That would hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when Jackie Chan's the one doing the whipping or the whooping, I suppose.
Whooping.
The
Yeah.
whooping.
Yeah, it's more of a whooping.
More of a
Mm,
whooping.
it's
Yeah.
true.
So yeah, Super Mario Brothers movie, right?
It's probably not going to
Oh.
be as good as Rumble in the Bronx.
Hey, that's hard to beat, though.
That's a tall order.
It's a very tall order.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You're all the garbage.
what else can we say about the rest of the trailer? I really liked Luigi's little section in there.
The
I wanna see
brief little
more-
snippet
More
Of him
Luigi
I
running
can't
away
wait
from-
to hear Leguizamo
running-
again.
running away.
from Dry Bones.
Yeah,
Is that Charlie Day gonna?
that's Charlie Day. Yeah,
We didn't hear him talk.
No.
Other than like,
we heard him grunt.
and let me tell you,
Only my
I can
dreams.
recognize Charlie Day's grunts from a mile away.
I mean, if you've seen Always Sunny, you've heard plenty of that.
You have to grunt pretty loud if you're going to recognize it from a mile away.
Yeah.
You haven't heard Charlie Day grunt.
Yes, I have. I watched the trailer.
Oh, well, then there you go. You know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah.
This is kind of a little Lego movie reunion.
Oh, right, because Charlie Day is in.
Charlie
that.
Day was Benny.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
And of
And
course,
of course, Chris Pratt.
as you can tell from the voice, was Emmett.
Yeah. So,
Like I said in our chat, Chris Pratt, famously known for disappearing into voice acting roles. That is the other thing that just drove me crazy this week is, oh my God, he sounds like Chris Pratt. Yeah, as he has in every single role he's ever played.
right.
Range.
Jesus.
The fact that anybody took that quote clearly the clear PR quote that it's, the performance is unlike anything you've ever heard, and believed it for a second.
I mean, it's unlike
After-
anything I've ever heard coming out of Mario's mouth.
That is true.
Well, exactly.
That's,
Yeah.
that's true.
If your reference point for Mario is Super Mario Brothers on the NES and you have never heard Mario speak, then yeah, sure. Chris Pratt is unlike anything I've ever heard out of Mario. But yeah, it's everything I've ever heard out of Chris Pratt.
Exactly.
Mouth, right?
Star-Lord is Mario.
I'd rather hear
is Mario.
the guy who did Star-Lord in the Guardians of the Galaxy video game. I would want to hear his take on the Mario voice.
I would hope that he sounds exactly like it in Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's just keep it alive.
I know. Oh, I hope he could do a better voice than Chris Pratt. I'm sure he could. He's in some Hallmark movie I just saw on Twitter. Hallmark
Is he really?
movie? Yeah, one of those Halloween or Halloween or Christmas romantic comedies that they do on the Hallmark channel.
That'll be easy to find. Haven't they been running Christmas movies since July?
Exactly. They do 70 of those a year.
It's crazy.
My former landlord, when I lived in California, actually wrote a couple.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. He was
I imagine
he was a screenwriter when he was not managing an apartment.
I
see.
So were any of those based on your time at the apartment complex?
They were all based on me specifically.
You might want to check.
No, it was very blatantly.
I don't know if you know this or not, but Chris Pratt has actually played Phil in multiple movies.
In this movie, the guy just gets a bunch of Lego packages, and one day
his roommate's cat tears him to pieces.
One gets delivered to the wrong door, and the rest is movie magic.
Exactly.
And then we're in for a
find
sexy
love
time.
this holiday season.
Find love.
when a
then he opens a used bookstore.
Brings two people together. Love clicks.
See, you know what? I'm gonna say the Mario trailer was successful because look at the amazing conversation it sparked. I mean, we've been on a journey here.
We have been on a journey.
All thanks to Chris Pratt's Mario voice.
From the Bronx to the Hallmark Channel.
Yep.
Yeah. But this Mario movie is going to be fine, right? I mean, it's going to be fine.
It'll be fun. Kids will love it.
Seems like
That's
it'll be
matters.
fun. The poster is cool looking.
Yep.
A lot of fun little details in there. The cheap in the goldfish bag.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. I'll watch it too. Yeah.
And depending on how the internet reacts to it, I'll love it or hate it.
The internet will hate it.
Then I'm going to love it.
The internet will hate it until it actually comes out, and then it'll make 100 million at the box office the first weekend, and then the internet will shut up.
Yeah,
right? No,
I think you're mostly right. The internet shutting up part, I don't think you're right about.
That'll never happen.
Then it'll just be a bunch of people telling people why they shouldn't have liked it. Why they didn't actually enjoy it.
All I know is it better end with Daisy busting in Mario and Luigi's door, demanding that they follow her back to the Mushroom Kingdom because there's big trouble.
Yeah.
How the live action movie ended.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really?
You don't remember that?
No.
The live action
I've
movie
seen
ends
that movie
on
once.
a
I've seen that movie
tease.
once too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daisy bursts into their
I really thought you were making a Back to the Future reference of some kind.
No.
That's what I thought too.
She's got a flamethrower. And she's
from the future?
You guys gotta come back with me. The dinos are revolting. Or some such nonsense.
Okay.
Looks like a live action Super Mario rewatch is in order.
No, that's
it is not.
well, the sequel was released in Japan as Doki Doki Panic.
Is that right?
Yeah, and you have a flamethrower in that now too.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the next game coming to Nintendo Switch Online, and that is Pilotwings 64 hitting the Switch this week. It's 60 frames a second, so double the frame rate of the N64 version. Looks a lot cleaner. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it.
Mhm.
Uh,
I do like my Pilotwings to be clean.
yes. As somebody who got all gold medals in Pilotwings 64 on the N64, I'm very excited about this. Looking forward to it. Pilotwings 64 is a fantastic little game.
I don't think I've ever played a Pilotwings game.
Really?
No?
No.
Oh,
That's odd.
Just never ever was interested.
I mean, I've certainly
64
played
is
them.
good.
I never cared much for them, but
Oh,
I've played
man. 64 is good fun.
Yeah.
Of course, I did a strategy guide on it showing you how
There
to
it
get
is.
all golds.
Oh, there it is.
There you
Okay.
That's why I
Now
got
we-
all golds
Now
Yeah.
we know
on
what's going
Pilotwings
on.
64.
This game I got paid to play.
That's right. It was pretty darn good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I bet.
Yeah. So it'll be full of nostalgia this week for me booting up my Nintendo 64 app.
Are you going to bust out your old strategy guide for it?
I should
Yeah,
see
right,
how
You should
how
See
right
if-
or wrong.
follow it and see how well
See if
you
it's
can do.
helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
will.
great.
Maybe I will. All right. So a tweet this week had a picture of the original Legend of Zelda game
Yeah.
as an ad from the Consumer Electronics Show for buyers, and it showed a black box style box for the original Zelda. And so people were kind of going crazy over this, sort of passing it back and forth. I don't know if it's one of those things that we really had never seen this before, or because somebody tweeted it out and the youngsters who had never seen it before are just signal boosting that.
I'm not sure whether we've ever seen it before, but if we did, I don't think it made much of an impression because I don't know that many people remember it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't remember seeing
I don't
it.
remember having seen it, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't either.
it's
So
new to me.
Very cool to see that cover layout.
Oh yeah.
it is.
How
It is
different things could have been.
cool looking. Yeah, I wonder why they went from this style to what we ended up getting.
I think that honestly, because wasn't that around the same time that they were moving away from? Because somebody mentioned in one of the tweets that they wondered if there were some other games that came out around the same time that might have had black box treatment as well.
Well, Punch
what I
Out
mean?
was also in that ad.
Yeah, Punch Out's in that ad, and
Okay.
I think I did see the reply that you're referencing that was talking about Metroid being in a silver box and Kid Icarus is in a silver box.
So I mean, I would say with Zelda, Zelda was so different from anything else on the the original Nintendo, as we like, or just the Nintendo, I believe.
The
is what we like to
Nintendo.
call it.
As Chris Pratt calls it.
Yeah, but and also wasn't it the first game they released with a battery backup? Anyway, the point being that I think they wanted it to be an event game. You know what I mean? Like, and I think it was the right move because I'm going to go ahead and say that a lot more copies of Zelda sold based on that bright gold box and seeing the gold cartridge through the little window than would have with that black label. As interesting as it is to see that black label game now, right? I don't know that it would have stood out in any way.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it would have looked really weird compared to the other stuff that was on the system. That's just my take on it, but
yeah. And of course, a non-Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yep.
Boy, they got it right the first time.
They got it right with Mike Tyson or this one. You like this one?
I'm just saying that they wouldn't have had to deal with, who Mike Tyson became.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that too. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, pretty cool little bit of Nintendo history there.
Yeah, it's very neat. Very cool to see.
Indeed. All right, so Steam Decks. I know a lot of people
are really expensive.
Have been like waiting in the queue for months and months. Well, now you can purchase a Steam Deck without having to place a reservation, and the ship dates are like only a week out.
Really?
From new purchases.
Wow.
So yeah, and they've also released, or you can order now the the dock that
The dock is
they
cool.
show.
That was one of the things that I thought would be very neat to have a Steam Deck with the dock hook up to the TV. I think that would be
yeah.
awesome.
That is pretty nice for sure.
But I'm not spending $1,000 on that setup.
Mm.
So
$1,000 Canadian.
yes, Canadian. Why would I make reference to the price in American money? What good does that
Well,
do
I'm
me?
just clarifying for our American listeners that will want to
you know
hear.
what? They should figure it out.
They will want to hear your comment as if
You already announced
You
me as being
understand
from
it.
Canada. It's
that's true.
Canadians use different money than we use here in the United States
much
of
more
America.
colorful in plastic.
There you go. Yeah.
And
Well, all right
transparent,
then. I assume none of you guys are picking up a Steam Deck now.
every now and then I get it in my head that I want one, and I get
Mm.
right to the point that I'm like hovering over the buy button, and then I talk myself out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're neat, but no.
it's neat.
Yeah, I don't really play my Steam catalog now,
No.
and as much as I've enjoyed games on the Switch, I almost never play the Switch in handheld mode. So I feel like those two elements are working against me, justifying the cost of a Steam Deck.
Gotcha. Well, Greg, let me ask you this: Do you have an Apple TV hooked up to your
No.
TV? No. Okay. Or any other kind of smart device that has like an app store?
No.
Because you can get Steam Link for that and just play Steam games on your TV that way.
I bought a Steam Link or whatever they're called. The little
Oh, you
box
have
that-
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I used that for all of a week.
All right. Well then. All right. Let's see. We got a trailer for the Dead Space remake
You mean a clip?
showing gameplay.
Oh,
It's, but game
oh, you got it.
play. Did
When
you
does that
watch
come
it?
out?
Huh?
No, when does that come out?
January.
Hmm.
God damn it.
Yeah. Comes out in January. Anyway, if you didn't watch it, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, I'm excited
And
about that.
I can't wait. They showed a lot of the sort of zero gravity sequences in it, and I'm excited. I love the
haven't-
original Dead Space. I love Dead Space 2. This is kind of like a hybrid. It's a remake, but it's more like a reimagining.
Yeah.
Apparently, one of the big things is there's no load time, and
Hmm.
I don't even know if they have the sections where you get in the little transport and go to another section of the Ishimura anymore.
That's
But anyway,
interesting.
I'm pretty excited about
I'm pumped to play that one.
Yeah.
it.
Big fan of
Yes.
the first one.
I
Yes,
did
indeed.
pre-order it.
You did.
I did.
All right.
I did. I'm very excited.
I have not yet pre-ordered it, but I will
I enjoy
before.
some Dead Space.
before the release date. Yeah.
The first two.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
qualify that.
I enjoy some
Indeed.
first two Dead Spaces.
So Bloomberg is reporting that Sony has begun mass production on PSVR 2 and that the plan for launch is 2 million units when this
Do we have
thing
a
comes
price
out
yet?
in the spring. No price.
Mm.
But that's a lot of units considering it took the first PSVR 8 months to reach 1 million. So
Ooh.
this is 2 million units for the launch period in early 2023.
Mm.
Be interesting to see the price, especially since they've raised the price of the Oculus or whatever that's called now.
Yeah.
The
The
MetaQuest.
MetaQuest 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this week is when Meta's having an event where they're going to show off the Quest Pro.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw that video that leaked like a month ago of
No.
hotel employee opening somebody's Quest Pro.
What?
Did you not hear about this?
No.
Somebody left a Quest Pro in a hotel room, and
Oh.
so they took it to the Lost and Found.
Somebody got fired.
And then one of the hotel employees did an unboxing video on it.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah.
suspicious.
No, yeah. I don't know how suspicious it is, but it happened, and I guess not a lot of people saw that. I saw it because I was following Quest Twitter, VR Twitter,
Quitter,
VR gaming Twitter,
Ritter.
Yeah.
Welcome to another Holiday Inn Lost and Found unboxing. Be sure to smash that like and subscribe button.
Yeah.
We're gonna
It
hit
really
up the
reminded
free ice
me. I don't know
machine.
if you remember when the iPhone 4 leaked. It was
Yeah, I do
because that
remember
guy
that.
left it in
Somebody
a
left it in a
bar.
bar. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of reminded me of that, but anyway, it's not like they ran any software on it or really got anything out of it. They just unboxed it. So, but anyway, yeah, PSVR 2 million units,
Like
for 2023.
Somebody said in the chat, there'll be more PSVR 2 than PS5 available.
Yeah, really.
Exactly. I have yet to see a PS5 in person at a store.
In the wild.
It's almost 2 years after that thing launched too. Yeesh. Anyway, I think that means it's time to move to what you've been playing. And Greg, we'll start with you.
Okay.
After you finish that yawn.
Are we boring you, Greg?
Absolutely. Every week.
Well, good.
But I still
I'm going to talk about Fortnite a little later, so get ready.
Man, I'll save my
really.
my nap time for then.
Don't use up your yawns.
So the first thing, there's a couple games that I was playing this week. The first one, because I don't know that I'm going to have a whole lot to say about it, except to be cranky about it. So I played Dakar Desert Rally this week, and it's because I was sent a code. Just want to throw that out there. And so I think the last time this series came out, which was from Saber Games, was Dakar 18. That one of the guys that races in the Player One League recommended as sort of a good time, like not amazing, but fun, right, and pretty cheap. So just if you want to kill a little bit of time, and Dakar is a pretty famous rally race. I think it's in, I want to say it's in Saudi Arabia, but I'm not sure. So like the interesting thing about it being, it's like one of those really like marathon length rallies where they're going over like sand dunes and they're going through forest, and like it's grueling, and it's very famous, and it's been running for a long time. It used to be called the Paris Dakar Rally, but not anymore. So anyway, I downloaded that previously, and it was a little bit of fun for like real cheap. And so was sent this game that just came out this month, Dakar Desert Rally, and I've played it for probably about an hour, and people were saying they wanted to know what I thought of it. And it's not good. It's too bad, actually. I should say there's a lot to like about it from like a sort of a design standpoint. The world looks really nice. The effects are like the effects are really nice, like when you're racing and you have other vehicles in front of you, and you're especially out on the sand dunes and they're kicking up sand. It looks really good. Like it really has a Forza Horizon vibe to it from a visual standpoint. That was when I was playing it. Actually, my youngest daughter asked me if that was what I was playing. So it does look nice, and there's like tons of vehicles, and I mean you can do like cars, trucks, bikes, ATVs, like because this rally does have a ton of different classes that you can run. And like it does sort of a cold open, which is kind of cool too, where it gets you to, again, it's very Forza, where it gets you to race like 4 different vehicles through like a stage with like really dramatic music and all this stuff. And then you can buy a bunch of cars in your garage, and you can do a sport mode, which is like sort of just an easy arcade mode. You can do like a career mode where you have to worry about damage and upgrading your cars and everything. So it's, it's got a lot to like, but performance wise, it's all over the place. Like when you get out into the actual racing, the frame rate is just, it really, really drops a lot, which is so weird to see nowadays. Like it's just, maybe I don't play enough games anymore, but enough new games anymore, but I'm not used to like a frame rate just dropping into the basement on a modern like racing game. And it was happening a lot.
Are you playing this on what system?
PlayStation 5.
Oh, PS5.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the other thing was that the physics are really messy. There's something going on where if you're, it's hard to describe. Like you'll get sort of stuck into a turn and you can't get out of it. Like even if you brake and you just it feels like the steering input just doesn't work every now and then. Like it's a really weird, clunky physics model, which I don't know might be technically realistic. You know, I mean, you are driving over a lot of different terrain and a lot of loose sand, especially, and maybe that's how it should feel, but it's not fun. Which is kind of the point. So yeah, overall pretty disappointing. And one other thing that I have to bring up, because it's such a small thing, but it's so weird for it to be a thing in 2022. So, you know, the whole thing with the Dakar Rally is that you have a lot of international competitors. And so when you start and you create your profile, one of the things that they get you to do is to choose a country of origin. Canada's not on the list.
What?
There's 41 countries listed in the game.
It's
I think we found out
the country.
We found the real reason why Greg doesn't like this game.
And it's funny because it was a terrible first impression. So it's like, well, the Russian Federation is in there. Like, so as in most sporting events, and I'm guessing maybe Dakar is the same way. Of course, most professional leagues and everything don't allow people to compete under the Russian flag anymore, at least not right now. So like you always have like the Russian, like in F1, it was like the Russian Automotive Federation and stuff like that. And it would just be like this white flag with a green design on it, but it was not the Russian flag. Like even that's in here. But Canada's not there. It's an American company. But it's like, it's like, I don't make any big deal out of it, but it is weird for it to be a thing in 2022, right? Like if we're talking like, 1987 and we're playing like Blades of Steel and not, there's a major American city missing. Well, okay. It's, 1987 and that's not really a thing, but nowadays it's just a weird thing to be missing. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, and so like as I'm playing, on top of not really enjoying it, every time I see my name on the leaderboard, it's got an American flag next to it. Like I hate this even more.
Well, you lived in America for a little while, so.
And then I left. Involuntarily one time, voluntarily the second time.
There you go.
Yeah, but so I played a little bit of that, but the main thing I've been playing the past week is I finished The Last of Us Part 1.
Oh yeah.
Hey, all right.
Because man, even though I was lukewarm on playing that game again, I was sort of picking away at it and just hit whatever I couldn't even tell you what the threshold was, where it was like, I just got to keep playing this. Like I was picking it up and playing it at every free moment that I had. Which is nice with the PS5 with modern consoles, because the load times are so quick that you can just jump into a game basically.
Well, and you can do the thing resume activity, and it skips the stuff for you and loads right in.
So so I mean, I just sort of plowed through it, and I mean, I hadn't forgotten how much I like that. It's still one of my favorite games. I mean, it's it was so well made and so well written. But I'd forgotten, while I remember sort of the broad strokes of the story and some specific scenes, and I guess maybe spoiler warning here. But specific scenes, like of course the opening scene, the way the opening scene ends, and various moments throughout, and the ending. I had forgotten sort of some of the characters you meet along the way, especially the two brothers. I completely forgotten about their story arc, and like how tragic it was at the end.
Extremely,
like to the point that, I mean, obviously in the final scene, I saw what was going to happen, but I was still like shocked about it. And I'd also forgotten how expertly they wrote the David character, the creepy like cannibal cult leader guy, who like is just he's just the worst. I think he's the worst character in that game, to be honest.
Nolan North,
I would hang out with clickers before I'd hang out with that guy.
voiced by Nolan North, everybody's favorite.
But just a completely like extremely creepy chapter in the game.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Start to finish, like, oh, it's so makes your skin crawl.
Yeah,
it makes it, and again, spoilers, but having the giraffe sequence right after that,
and you know what? Yes,
is very nicely timed.
Yeah.
I think we had this exact discussion when we were doing our whatever we used to call that series,
spoiler
casts. I think we had that exact discussion because I was Phil. I was feeling the exact same way because I was, I remembered the giraffe scene, but I'd forgotten how intense the scene before that was.
Oh yeah,
and and my son happened to be my oldest daughter happened to be in the room while I was playing that part, and at one point when Ellie kills David, and then Joel shows up, like they're still talking to each other, but they drop the dialogue, and you can just hear the music.
Yeah,
and Cameron, my daughter, was saying like, why aren't they letting us hear what they're saying? And I was like, because that's not really the point right here. Like it's it's just to drive this home. And then she saw the giraffe scene and she thought, oh, that's really cute. And I was like, yep, that's why they did it.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, the game's been dour and sad and hopeless the whole time, but we really peaked there. So let's just bring it down a notch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we're going to kill Ellie. So, all in all, yeah. And also I'd forgotten sort of the nuance of Joel too. The way that he was written, where, obviously he's a tragic character right from the start, where his daughter is murdered. But I'd forgotten sort of he's not a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like he ultimately does the right thing, and he's not like overtly evil either. But I mean, when you meet his brother Tommy, there's a lot of references made to some not very nice things that he did to survive.
Right.
Yeah. And he mentions it himself, how he was actually I forget what they call them, bandits or whatever. When they get attacked in Pittsburgh, I think it is.
Yeah.
He says that he's been on both sides of that coin.
Yeah.
And I'd forgotten about that. And then, like when Ellie's taken and he wakes up and like there's a whole torture scene where Joel's torturing a couple of now they're cannibals who took Ellie, but still he's torturing them. And I just forgotten the nuances of his character's story arc.
Right. I mean, I think that's one of the great things about The Last of Us in general, in terms of the storytelling that it's doing, is the characters aren't only good and only bad. There's shades there of both sides, and especially in the second one, you get to see a little bit of that, and
that's just it. Like, they're not
most interesting aspects of that series.
Yeah, like it would have been so easy to paint Joel. I mean, Ellie is kind of the innocence, even though she does kill people to survive as well. But like, it'd be easy to sort of paint Joel as just this guy who's just trying real hard to do the right thing in a crazy world. And it's like, no, he's part of the world. Like, he's doing what he needs to survive it. There were two changes in the ending, or there was one change for sure in the ending. And Phil, you've finished this too. And CJ, you might remember you finished the first game. So
I did. Yeah.
So I'm curious. So one of the main things that I did notice is that the doctor at the very end, when you're saving Ellie from the operation, the doctor who you have to kill the game makes you kill him in order to pick her up. That is, of course, that character model was changed. So now it's the father of, I forget her name in Last of Us 2.
Abby.
It's Abby's father, because that was her whole motivation in Last of Us 2, right? That Joel killed her father. So if you look, his character model is Abby's father now.
Oh,
and what he says has been changed a little bit. It might be changed to reflect whatever he says in like a flashback in Last of Us 2.
Please no, my daughter Abby.
will murder you
Needs
later
my
if you
help.
kill me.
Wow, spoilers for 2 games.
But so here's the part that I'm not clear on. I remember at the very, because we talked about this a lot when the game came out. At the very end of the game, obviously Joel saves Ellie and then tells her that they've given up trying to find a cure for the cordyceps, as justification for her still being alive, because she knew that she was going to die. So at the very, very end of the game, when you're walking through like this wilderness towards, I think, Jacksonville, Ellie stops him and says, "Swear to me that you told me the truth." I remember in the PS3 version, do you have a choice to what to say there?
No.
Why do I think you did?
Because human memory is
convinced
very, very fallible.
You don't.
So I was convinced you had a choice there, but I even went to look it up and I couldn't find any reference to the fact that you had a choice. So it's like, oh, okay, I guess you didn't.
Nope.
For some reason, I thought you did. Or maybe the discussion that we had is that should they have given you a choice? Maybe that's why I'm thinking about it when we did our spoiler cast.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, like I said, I was not planning to play through the remake. You know, I was sort of picking away at it and remembering how much I really enjoyed it, and then suddenly I was just in it and just plowed through the whole thing. And I mean, I didn't go fast either. Like I was playing the way I played originally, which the way they teach you to play, which is to stop and look in every nook and cranny in every room. Yeah. So it's not like I tore through it at all. What a good game. Oh my God.
It's so good. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's what I was playing this week.
All right. Phil.
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
Not much, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Mostly just playing some of the stuff that I've been playing recently, Tycho and Picross. Nothing too out of the ordinary. I was playing some Rogue Legacy 2, right? I had to stop. I was in the middle of a very good run in Rogue Legacy 2. And now that's, you know, I have it in a little suspended state so I can get back to it.
I see.
I interrupted a very good run to talk to you people.
Wow.
So, take that how you will. I did try. I downloaded on the Xbox. You're familiar with this system?
Yeah, it's a direct Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah, they have that Game Pass, where you can download games to play for free.
Past games.
Yeah. I downloaded a zoo simulator game. And I forget what it's called. It's like Let's Build a Zoo.
Let's Build a Zoo.
Let's Build a Zoo.
Yeah.
I tried playing some Let's Build a Zoo.
Okay.
Just because it looked cute. It's all like cute little pixel art. So I figured I might like that.
No.
And did you?
And then I downloaded another game. Now, you know what? It's perhaps a bit unfair. This game really feels like it was designed for a PC. Like if you have a mouse and keyboard, it's probably at least easier to maneuver through all the menus and stuff you have to do.
Yeah,
it's just a maze of button presses and flipping through menus, and
kind of like how Baron Breakfast was when I played that, where it's obvious that this needed a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah. And it's like, you use the shoulder buttons to flip through some menus, and then you use the D-pad to flip through other menus, and it's just like, ugh. Yeah. I don't have time for this nonsense. I downloaded that Disney game,
Dreamlight Valley.
My daughters have been playing that.
Are they enjoying it?
Yes, but no,
I think that is a probably not.
The older one bounced off it. She hasn't picked it up in a while.
Okay.
The youngest is more into it, but she's also more into Disney.
Right.
Right. But you know what? I haven't watched it closely.
Mhm.
I love the way it looks. Because it looks like a Disney animated film, basically, the more modern Disney animated film, and I like all the old characters and everything. But she struggles with the interface.
Yeah.
Especially there's one screen in particular, and I don't watch when she gets there. I don't know how she gets to it, but it seems impossible to cancel out of. It seems impossible to scroll away from. I've seen her reset the game at least 4 times off this screen. I don't know if it's soft locking or if it's just a bad interface. I haven't figured it out.
Yeah, I ended up exiting it before I really got even into the core game, just because. Well, I went from the zoo game to that, and I could already tell that I'm, the thing that made me exit out of the zoo game, which was the overly fussy console controls. I could just smell those about to take off in this game.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I can't deal with this right now. But yeah, it seemed just kind of weird. Like it's Game Loft.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it until
free-to-play game.
yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that until yesterday.
And they do a lot of mobile
early
stuff.
access.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's weird because it has like this. It feels like it's kind of like a mobile game.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I saw a tweet earlier tonight actually from somebody who had been playing it, and she complained that she managed somehow, and she doesn't know how she did it, to delete her save file.
Oh.
And then immediately it uploaded her blanked save file to the cloud. So she lost like 20 hours.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, so
so you stopped playing that?
I stopped playing
right
it. It's also weird too, and I don't know, maybe this is just a remnant of its mobile design philosophy or whatever. The game starts off with an intro that's blatantly just a trailer for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With like the trailer level voiceover, like describing what you're about to do and stuff. And it's just like, this is, it felt very slapdash, if that makes any sense. Yeah. So I was just like, I got no time for this.
Well, it's a service game, Phil.
Yeah. Well,
not for you.
Not for me. Not for me.
It's like I say, my girls have been playing it, but it's not enough to pull them away from Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley. It's not nearly at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's leaning on the Disney properties to make up for it, right?
Oh, absolutely. So anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, not much going on with me this week, game wise.
Okay.
But I'm still loving Picross. Glad a new Picross is out.
I gotta get that.
Yeah. You know, I played a little bit of S8. I'm only on the first page of puzzles. And on the first page of puzzles, it has stomach and urinal.
Yeah.
Really reaching for some subject matter at this point.
Reaching for the urinal puzzle.
About time we got some urinals in Picross.
You can tell it's a urinal because there's a figure of a person standing in front of it. Not using it.
But getting ready to. It's out and ready. Locked and loaded.
Zip thunk.
That's right.
Fire at will.
That little 3 square at the end, that you know what that was. No.
I don't.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
3 squares, huh?
Okay. Well, for me, it's like 7. Anyway. I've been playing Overwatch 2, and they launched this
Overwatch 2
on Tuesday, and I wasn't able to actually
play
it
Tuesday
until Saturday.
Overwatch Sat Tuesday.
Too many DDoS attacks.
Apparently they were getting a lot of DDoS attacks, and then on Friday when I tried to play it, it had like a queue, so you had to wait to play, and it would just keep putting me in the queue. It would never actually take me out of the queue, so I put it away. But I was finally able to get into a game over the weekend.
Sucks. What a terrible way to launch.
Yeah. But hey, it's Overwatch. And man, I played a lot of that game, the first one, on PlayStation in the first
you were
couple
really
months
into
after that came out. I played like something like 70 hours or so of it. So a healthy amount. And now that it's gone free to play, they allow you to merge your accounts. So I had the PlayStation version is what I played the most on. And then I also had Xbox, Switch, and PC. I had bought all of them at various times. But we're not cross-play or cross-progression.
Overwatch Paradise.
Yeah. Except now they are cross-play and cross-progression. You can merge your accounts, and everything you ever got in any of those versions come forward to the sequel. So that's kind of nice. The stats are a little bit screwed up at the moment, but it's nice to have the skins that I had used on the PlayStation version available on the Switch version and whatnot. And I've been bouncing back and forth between playing the sequel on PlayStation and then playing it on the Switch. And it's real nice to be able to do that for sure. And the Switch version, especially in handheld, looks great on the OLED. If you play it on a TV, it does not look as good as the PS5 version. And you can definitely see where the level of detail in some of the faraway objects is very low on the Switch. But the gameplay is there, and that's kind of all that matters. So, but before I had, or after I had stopped playing back in 2017 or 2018, they added the ability to queue into multiplayer as specific roles. So they had, tank, damage, and support are the roles in Overwatch. And I like playing support a lot. But, back in Overwatch 1, when I was playing it, you would get on a team and maybe somebody else wanted to play support. Well, now, and this happened a long time ago, but I'm just really seeing the benefits of this change. Now, when you queue up, you can specify what role you want.
Oh, before you're all matched up.
Before you're all matched up.
Okay.
So it matches you. It's 5-on-5 now instead of 6v6. And it gives you 2 supports, 2 damage, and 1 tank. And so I can queue as support and pick the character that I want, because at least one of them is not going to be picked by the other support player. So it's kind of nice to have that freedom. And then, of course, you can queue as I'll play any role. And I did that a couple of times and got support, because nobody wants to play support in a shooter. But I do want to play support in a shooter.
It's so funny, because playing Sea of Thieves, you're so overly aggressive. And I don't mean your personality, but I mean, aggressive. Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, anytime like I've played with you, you're like the guy who sees a ship on the horizon. So while we're turning the ship to engage them, you've already shot yourself out of a cannon, and you're just swimming to the ship and taking them all down before we even get the sails down. Like,
that's true. I guess you're right. But I think that probably goes for Overwatch as well, or really any shooter. It's more like familiarity with the controls. Like in Sea of Thieves, I can do that because I know what I'm doing. And in Overwatch, I don't know what I'm doing, so I play as support. So the people who know what they're doing can do their thing, and I can refill their health or power up their attack or something else.
And I am also here.
I am also here. Exactly. That's what it is in Overwatch. But Overwatch, man, I've really enjoyed that game from the time it first came out, and I dropped off of it, and I'd heard, that it was slim pickings in terms of updates for the last year or two, and this is sort of where they've rejuvenated everything, and now it's free to play as well. and there's a battle pass, which because I bought into the beta earlier this summer, I got that for quote unquote free, but not really. And then a bunch of cosmetics too. I'm not even looking at the store though. I'm not even looking at the shop. Like cosmetics in this game have never really been anything that interested me. So, but anyway, having fun with that Overwatch 2. It's really a good time, and I enjoy it quite a lot, and ping-ponging between Switch and PlayStation. I've also been playing a little bit of Dragon Ball The Breakers. So
I totally read that as Dragon Ball Breakers when I
Dragon Ball Breakers.
first looked at the outline. It's like that's
what
weird,
it should be.
A weird yet a great name for a Dragon Ball Z game.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, Hackerius Namava in the chat says, how many battle passes do I own? Overwatch, Fortnite, Sea of Thieves. I think that's my only
currently
right now. Yeah. So for current seasons. All right. So Dragon Ball The Breakers is a multiplayer game where you play a regular Joe in the Dragon Ball universe.
Regular Dragon Joe.
You are one of 8 survivors, and you go up against one of the popular Dragon Ball villains.
Breakers.
So Frieza or Cell or Boo, like a lot of different Dragon Ball villains. And you don't play as them, but you can like call upon the spirit of Dragon Ball heroes like Goku, of course, and fight the villains using that character. But you can only do that for a limited time, and you don't want to like go up against them by yourself because it's just not going to work out well for you. The villain character, the enemy character is overpowered, and you really don't have enough to take them on by yourself. But the point of the game, it's an asymmetrical multiplayer game where the survivors are trying to find power keys and activate how many power keys? It's like 6 or 7 power keys, and then take off in a spaceship. And there are various things that happen during the game that mean you're either going to be able to do that or not. And the villain can stop you by like blowing up entire portions of the map as well. And it looks janky as all hell. Like if you've ever seen screenshots or trailers of this thing, it looks like the worst like PS2 era jank fest like that you've ever seen, even if you're playing on PS5 or on Steam.
It's weird that in a game based on Dragon Ball,
yeah,
where one of the main aspects of the fiction is hunting down and trying to collect Dragon Balls,
which you can do in this game. You can do that. Yeah.
Okay. I just thought it was weird that it's like, oh, you got to collect half a dozen keys of a certain type of object. Keys. Yeah, exactly.
Dragon keys. As if Dragon Ball doesn't have enough objects.
They fit in your balls.
Not.
Is that how that works?
Your Dragon Balls.
Stop dragging them around.
Stop dragging them. Yep.
That's right. Stop dragging my balls around. Anyway. You know that famous song with Tom Petty and no? Okay.
No, I don't.
So Dragon Ball The Breakers, yeah, I had no idea what I was doing when I played in the beta. This is kind of like the final beta. They've had 2 or 3 up to this, and this is like the final weekend before release, so you can play it again. It feels kind of like a free-to-play game. You do earn currency that then you can spend in the shop for cosmetic stuff, but it is a paid-for game. It's only $20, so it's like sort of like a budget title. But it's an interesting spin on Dragon Ball as an asymmetrical game with tons of weird gameplay elements that don't seem to fit in the Dragon Ball universe, but it kind of makes it oddly charming as well. It's just, I don't know.
Question.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, The Legacy of Goku, better or worse?
Mm.
So I know you're a big fan.
I don't think I am a big fan.
The-
You're talking about how this stacks,
Yeah.
how Ball Breakers stacks up to
I love that we're calling it Ball Breakers.
Legacy of Goku.
I don't even care now because I love that we're calling
that
it
was
Ball
the
Breakers.
GBA game, right?
That was the GBA game that
Yeah.
everyone was so excited about, and then it came out.
Well, this is a very different
I
style
know.
of game.
I'm only kidding.
No.
I remember you being so disappointed by the GBA game.
It wasn't
you
that I was
covered it for it
disappointed
with
by the
EDGM.
GBA game. It was that it was a decent shot at making a good licensed game based on Dragon Ball, and it like just missed the mark in a couple areas as an action game, and it was too short.
Remember there was that GBA game based on the original Dragon Ball series
Which one's that?
where you were Kid Goku. I think it was just called like Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure, maybe.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
that
is an
was
Advanced Adventure.
Yeah, it
was
like
that
a
the one I
beat 'em
was
up
talking
type game?
about?
No.
I thought that was the one I was talking about.
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you're
Legacy
No,
Goku was a different game.
Legacy
Oh,
of
okay.
Goku is kind of like an RPG.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
think
why
like
it
an
was
action
weird.
RPG?
It felt weird to me when you said action because,
Oh,
well, I think
okay,
it was
maybe I
action.
thinking of this other
I'll
game.
it
be
was like an
honest,
action
I never
RPG.
played it, but
But yeah, the Advanced Adventure was just like a full on beat 'em up, and it was quite good.
Oh yeah,
It was a really good
okay.
game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I also played a bunch of demos on Steam because they're doing their Steam Next Fest thing for the next 10 days or so. And so a lot of games have demos, some of which were on my wish list, some of which are now on my radar because of the Next Fest. And
Mm.
Steam, I think, does a really good job of the discovery queue. I don't know if you've played around with the discovery queue on Steam where it shows you games you might be interested in.
when I go to
based on,
Steam,
like,
I usually just buy a bunch of stuff really cheap and then never install it.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Just saying. Just being honest.
Gotcha. Well, the Next Fest has like demos of a lot of games, like it's like a couple hundred games that are that have new demos for this. So I played a couple. I'll talk about a couple. Dredge is one of those. It is a fishing adventure game
Sounds awesome.
where you take out your little boat and go fishing, and and also do different tasks for folks around the villages that you're sailing around in or near. And when you fish, it tells you like, okay, you're fishing here for an eel. An eel is 4 blocks across. So then in your inventory, you have to place it like a Tetris piece in this pattern. And depending on where you're fishing, you have to like move things around and like get everything into your inventory before you go to the fishmonger and sell it all and get some gold back. And that can be the case for like items. If you're going out and trying to find specifics like story items, you put them in your inventory, and it's again that sort of Tetris puzzle. You have to like place them or have room to place them in your inventory. So pretty interesting setup. It's got like it's a unique art style. Kind of reminds me of Disco Elysium in the character models.
Okay.
But gameplay wise has nothing to do with that game. But you sail around in this little schooner, little boat, little tugboat,
Like a
You dumb
sailboat?
bastard.
and if you crash, it just knocks off some of your inventory. Like it X's out some of the puzzle parts where you can place items and stuff. And apparently it's got a sinister story leaning as well. But I haven't seen that in the demo yet. But very interesting little game, a fishing adventure game, Dredge.
Sounds
There's a demo.
interesting.
There's a demo right now on Steam. I also played a game called Wavetail. This is from Thunderful, which is, I think, the Image and Form people that did SteamWorld Dig. But anyway, it's an adventure game, sort of action adventure-y game where you play this character who can like who finds they can slide on the water, because when they step on the
Like
water,
Jesus.
they see
He
in
was
the
always
reflection of the
sliding
water
around.
like a dark
Look at
version
me
of
go!
themselves. It's like a dark version of themselves underneath the water. So when they step, they're actually stepping on the feet of their shadow double in the water. And
Oh,
you like slide around on the water. And it's got these really nice wave physics and graphics. You can do tricks on the waves. You can like jump and double jump off the waves. It's really quite cool. And it's sort of like a Zelda style adventure game. The demo is very short. You only like collect 3 things and then go back, and it says, that's it. That's the end of the demo. You've collected those things. See you later in the full game. But the graphic style is very nice, and the gameplay is good. Like it's very simplistic sort of action controls. Just stabbing with your little hook implement and jumping around. Zelda style, like you do. But that was a pretty cool game too. Very cool looking. And I also played a very little bit of this game called Asterigos, and that comes out like later this month, I think. Anyway, it really reminds me of Immortals Phoenix Rising or Kena Bridge of Spirits. Very similar gameplay. Very similar gameplay. There's a demo on Steam, of course, because Steam Next Fest demos of all this stuff. And it apparently, some have likened it to a Souls-like, but I don't think so. I don't think it is. I think it's much more like a Kena Bridge of Spirits or an Immortals Phoenix Rising. Just an action adventure game. Combat is good. Graphic style is very good. A very appealing looking style to it. Not like a Souls-like, very dark and dank sort of style to it, but it's not grimdark or anything like that. It's more bright and colorful, which is good. And yeah, Asterigos on Steam is what that one's called. So yeah, that is pretty much all I've been playing, except for a little bit of Fortnite here and there, and of course Sea of Thieves. Those are ever present in my gaming diet. Anyway, I think we should do tweets.
Oh, how about I do the tweet song?
I think it's time for you to do the tweet song.
A tweedly diddly day. Oh, tweedly diddly day. Tweet, tweet. A tweet, tweet, tweet. Tweet
All
song.
right. That's good.
Thank you.
Tweet song. All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias. I finally watched, who says, in listening to an old episode, the whole crew expressed their not liking Shadow Complex back in the day. Given it's universally adored with an 88 Metacritic, what other games does the crew as a whole not enjoy that everyone else does, and vice versa?
Metroid Dread.
I was going to say right off the bat, Red Dead Redemption 2.
That was the other one that was right on the tip of my tongue. It was that Metroid Dread.
Metroid Dread, I don't agree with that. I don't hate Metroid Dread.
I liked Metroid Dread.
Yeah, no, you did.
For the most part.
I didn't like it.
Yeah. What else?
Yeah, Red Dead 2 is for sure.
2. Ooh.
Nothing else is coming to mind.
Horizon?
Yeah, Horizon didn't do anything for me. I didn't hate it though. I just didn't.
Yeah, I don't hate it either.
Love it. I actively
can't
did not
get into
like
any
Metroid
GTA
Dread or Red
games.
Dead.
Yeah, GTA games is another one for me. Where
there's where I differ from you guys, but
yeah,
I just can't. I mean, I've tried.
Yeah.
We hate bullies so much we refuse to do a game club after promising it for like 4 years.
Anything from Platinum Games I've tried, and I just can't.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I
mean, I see-
want to like those games, especially when they start when they started using licenses that I was really excited about.
Yeah. Or I see like tweets from folks who are playing Nier Automata on Switch and how much they love that game. And I'm just like, I played a little bit of it and it didn't do anything for me.
Well, get ready for me talking about Bayonetta 3 in a couple weeks, and you not even two rats patoots.
It'll just be like when
another
CJ talks about anything he's playing.
Exactly. You guys don't care about anything I've been playing.
Do you care about Platinum games, Greg?
Not really.
Really?
No.
So you have no interest in Bayonetta 3?
No.
Okay.
I've never played a Bayonetta game.
Oh, man.
Not even a demo?
No.
No? Oh.
I feel I own Bayonetta 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Because of course I do. But I've just never played them.
Oh, man.
That's all. It's not I guess it's not that I don't like them. It's just I've never gotten around to playing them.
You should give the
I'm
first
not
one a try,
interested
at least.
enough in them that I've gotten around to playing them. So
You should give the first one a try.
yeah.
Yeah, it's got some fun Sega nods in there.
Yeah.
You know.
I think, but it has more to do with not being a particular fan of their games in general.
Yeah.
So they did
Yeah.
that Transformers game too, right?
They did. Devastation.
And Devastation, which again was a game that like I loved the way it looked,
Right.
and I was super excited to play it. And I played it for a few hours, and I was just like, this is not for me. Like this play style just doesn't work for me at all. So
Yeah.
Now that one, that was clearly their B team working on that one.
that's fair.
Yeah.
There was another one that came out right around that time or just before that I was I want to
Was
say
it the
I
Turtles
bought.
I
I didn't
TMNT?
buy that, but
Yeah,
maybe
but-
that's what
but-
I'm thinking of.
There was the Turtles game. They did a Legend of Korra game that was also
I wouldn't have bought that.
one of their B tier teams.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
Alrighty, let's do another tweet. This one
Okay.
from Hackerilius Docky, who says, "Are there any less common platforms you wish you had more experience with? I grew up in the UK and played lots of Sam Coop. Is that what it is? Sam
I think it's Coupe, but I don't know.
Coupe? Commodore Plus 4, Amstrad CPC, and Amiga CD32. I was grateful for the Intellivision collection on PS2 and Konami MSX collection for Sega Saturn.
oh man,
I was always interested in the MSX.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of experience with the MSX, but I've played a few of those games.
Yeah.
Shane Bettenhausen had an MSX.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when we were roommates, I played his a few times.
Okay.
Yeah. The MSX is one that I've always wanted to sort of have more experience with. The X68000, because a lot of Genesis games came from there. So it'd be cool to have experienced that too. But I mean, I don't know. I've been trying to get more experience with the Laser Active over the last few years because it's just a weird, obscure system that I just find really fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was always Amiga curious.
Yeah, I definitely
I
wanted
think
an
we
Amiga
all
back
were.
in the day.
I would go to Radio Shack and see the Amiga set up there, and it's like, oh man, Dragon's Lair, awesome.
How many times, because we're all around the same age, how many times were we treated to screenshots of Shadow of the Beast on the Amiga in our various gaming magazines as like this high water mark that we just were never going to be able to attain with our consoles? Like,
oh, totally.
yeah,
Well,
like, sorry, go ahead.
That and Cinemaware games.
Yes.
You know, looking at Defender of the Crown
Defender of the Crown.
on the
The
Amiga.
Amiga
was
version
just like-
has the boobies. See through her dress.
My friend Dave and I played through that on the NES.
Oh,
But yeah,
man.
it was always because it's funny because the Amiga is one I've always been curious about as well, but looking into it more and sort of like when I did the Sort of Sodan episode of Generation 16, which you should go watch, by the way, because that was an Amiga game first. And so I really started to look into the library and started to talk to people who had actually played it when it was new, when it was a going concern, because the Amiga itself is the story of the Amiga is a fascinating one. Like, I highly recommend. There's actually I mentioned it from bedrooms to billions before as a documentary that I think, especially if you're from North America, you should watch that, because it will give you so much insight into why the UK and European markets, like how they diverge so much from what we had in North America, where we were all very console centric with Nintendo and Sega, and that's not the way it was there. But anyway, they've expanded on that documentary series. They have done subsequent films, and they actually have done one called The Amiga Years. That, again, highly recommend. It's all good stuff, but like, the Amiga computer story is fascinating. And also, as I was looking at the library and actually talking to some like other YouTubers and some other people that we've known through like IRC back in the day, like, were Amiga games good? And like the general consensus is like, no, not really. Like, it was more about the power and I'm not saying like that's a blanket statement. There were obviously good Amiga games,
Sure,
but like, especially early on, it seemed like it had more to do with what the system was capable of doing performance wise than anything else. So yeah, anyway, it's very cool stuff. I would like to have experience with it, but the experience that I've had with it, I didn't find a whole lot of games that were fun to play.
Let's see. Well, then, let's do this tweet from hacker alias Grim Grinning Guy, who says, I've got one of those LG cloud gaming handhelds on pre-order, but now that I see Steam Decks in stock, I'm on the fence. CJ, have you done any Game Pass cloud gaming on the deck? Yes, I have. And the Steam Deck is really great for Xbox Game Pass cloud gaming. It's a little bit, you have to go into desktop mode, download the Edge browser, and then kind of manually set up Steam so that it'll launch it as a game. But once you do that, it works beautifully. And the battery life on it is great, obviously, because it's not running off the Steam Deck. You're just running the browser off of it. It works wonderfully. So if that's something you want, Steam Deck's going to do it. Oh, go ahead.
Can you do PlayStation 5 streaming on a Steam Deck? Okay.
Well, you probably can, but I stopped looking into that when I looked up doing Xbox remote play on the Steam Deck, and you can do it. It's a third-party app that you have to put your credentials into, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, if there was an official way through Xbox that you could do it, or an official way through PlayStation you could do it, fine. But I don't want to like enter my credentials into a third-party app to be able to do it. So that's one of the reasons why I'm still interested in the Logitech G Cloud device. But even playing those demos that I mentioned from the Next Fest, I was playing a lot of those on the Steam Deck, but streaming them onto the deck from my PC, not actually playing them on the Steam Deck itself. And that worked beautifully as well. Like Steam Link and streaming from your PC to the deck works great. And I like the Steam Deck just as a system. Like, I think the controls and the analog sticks and the buttons are all really, really nice. So if you have a lot of Steam games and you figure you're going to be playing a lot of them locally, or even if not, like, even if you don't care about remote play, but we'll do the Steam Link streaming or Xbox cloud gaming, the Steam Deck will work really well for you.
There you go.
There you go. All right. I think that's it.
Oh,
I think that's the end.
well, all right.
So I guess that means I do the outro now. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Generation 16 episodes as well.
Yep. I'm working on a Genesis Mini 2 episode.
Oh,
Was it?
Right
You got
now.
another 2 weeks or so until that comes out?
Yeah, and then I'm kind of hoping that Amazon Japan maintains its track record of sending stuff real fast.
yeah.
So I can, actually have the unit to talk about and play with a little bit before I want to play with my unit a little bit before I put it on video and post it to YouTube.
Mhm.
All right then. Yes, and right now you've got a 1990 year in review up
Mhm.
for Genesis up on Generation 16.
Pretty
So
great.
check that out if you haven't already. Go to our website. You'll also find links to all the things that we talked about during this episode, and you'll find a link to our Discord server where we can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Stitcher Radio or on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast, or watch us live most weeks on the YouTubes, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Twitch.televisions, all over the dang place. Just follow our Twitter account, which is at P1 Podcast, to find out when we are doing our next live show. Typically, it is Sunday evenings at 5:30 Pacific time. So join us, won't you? I'll tell you what, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. CJ has a lot, and I mean a lot, of battle passes to buy.
That's right.
For a variety of games on a variety of systems. He's got to get all of them, or else
Got to
he's
catch them all.
got the, you know what he's got? He's got the FOMO.
That's right.
He's got the FOMO.
I'm actually thinking
I mean,
about
he's the youngest of us, so it makes sense that he's the one who falls victim to it.
Mhm.
thinking about canceling my Fortnite Crew subscription.
What?
I know. But
the
Thinking
FOMO.
about it.
What about the skins?
Eh.
What about your emotes?
I think I might have all that I want. I
You say
did
that
just purchase
now.
Gangnam Style, and that might be the final one.
Okay.
Fortnite.
I mean, how could it get any better?
This is exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
Before the show, CJ messaged me trying to get me to play more Fortnite because apparently
Is that
Doctor
what?
Who's coming.
Doctor
It's
Who?
rumor
Exactly.
that Doctor Who skins are coming to Fortnite.
Well, there you go. But it's all
rumor.
the new doctors.
But that
New
was
doctors.
those were the images that Fortnite tweeters, whatever you want to call it, came up with.
Right.
So you don't know if that's necessarily going to be what.
I mean, it is.
I mean, it probably is.
Ain't nobody gonna. They're not gonna sell any battle passes because people are like super stoked to play as Patrick Troughton.
Speak for yourself.
Even though I
They'll
would.
sell one.
One. Yeah.
Which one was Patrick Troughton, Greg?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying. I'll do it to spite you.
He was the second Doctor.
Okay.
He was the second Doctor.
How many of his episodes were lost?
You know what? There's certainly a couple of them. I'm pretty sure.
Is it in black and white?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think Doctor Who went to color until the third Doctor, maybe. So, John Pertwee, for the record.
Could have fooled me.
I mean, I guess I could have.
You could have.
You
I
easily
probably
could have
could've.
fooled me because I
Could've
don't know
said
what
any
we're talking
name.
about.
Could have said any name.
That's Drudge
Engelbert
Drillerson.
Humperdinck.
Yeah.
Yep. You're absolutely right.
Flip, dip, and dip. He played the fifth Doctor. That's not true. Anyway,
Yeah. Back on track.
what were we saying? Oh, yeah, your money. Send us your money.
Pay for this crap, whatever this
Oh.
is.
It's certainly a wise investment.
You clearly want to give us money for whatever this is.
No, you know what, though? Your Patreon dollars do, of course, help support the show, keep it running and streaming and all that nonsense.
That's correct.
But if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
Cheap.
you do gain access to a special weekly bonus episode that we record right after this, where we play games, crack wise, having fun doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ,
Yeah.
do we have a game?
We do, Phil.
Oh.
Yes, we have a game. It is a Jeopardy game about.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What is it about?
Is it from Night Attack 09?
No, it is not.
Okay.
No, it is not. It is a game where we're going to have to try to guess the name of the game via the name and description of the platinum trophy.
Oh, that's cute.
Platinum trophy for the game. So it's this guy, hacker alias Black and Green,
Okay.
has sent us this quiz. It's basically a quiz on which games that he has platinumed, and we have to guess them based on
So we will get
platinum trophy.
So we'll get the name of the platinum trophy and then the description of the platinum trophy.
The name and description, yes.
Aren't most of the descriptions for platinums just like get all the other trophies?
Maybe he says with giveaways blanked out, of course. So maybe that's gonna be what it is. Like the platinum, get all the trophies in The Last of Us Part 1 with that blanked out.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very cute idea. I'm excited about this.
Me too. Yes.
I'm not going to say we're going to do well,
Probably not.
but
It'll be entertaining.
it should be
maybe.
fun. No, I like that idea. That's very clever.
Yeah.
So
I like
please join us for that, won't you, friendos? And I'll tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, why don't you go to patreon.com/Greg Seward. Like Seward Shark, not like Stuart Little,
Not like Seward Shark either.
but like Seward Shark.
Okay.
If there was a T in there,
No.
but not at the Stewart. Go give him money to help support his outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 variety,
Also cheap.
it really is. You get access to my vlog series called The Weekly Commute, where I talk about all the different content I'm creating and how I'm actually spending the money that you are so generously using to support my show. It's not for CJ to buy battle passes. It's for me to buy battle passes. I'm just kidding. No. But yeah, talk about the different videos I'm working on, the process, how things are progressing, usually pretty slowly because that's kind of how I do. And also lately not lately, like for the past year, been going through different games in my collection and sort of memories associated with them. Been going through my NES collection lately. One thing that I do throw in there every now and then, and I'm going to be doing soon, is I actually had an interview with an old Expert Gamer editor recently for the upcoming Let's Read of issue number 67. So once I've finished that video and posted that, I'm going to post the raw interview as an upcoming weekly commute. So
Was it with me?
No.
Heck, I think
We
I would
didn't
have
work on
remembered
XG
that.
together.
Yeah.
So I'm not interested in your opinions on it.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
I should say I can't imagine you would have a lot of memories working on an issue that you didn't work on.
I could make up memories.
I know you could.
It's all lies anyway, isn't it?
From some of us.
Yeah.
Anyway, please support the show.
Do it.
You know you want to do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
That's going to be in the Mario movie. Jack Black.
I hope it is. I would love to see. Yep, that'll make the whole movie. If Bowser sings that, that's
What about the
Mid.
moo cow and what about the hay?
There you go. Yeah.
CJ,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Of course. Gregory,
Yo.
thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
And of course, a big old thank you to you. Yes, you are wonderful, wonderful listeners. Every single one of you. Every one of you. Thank you. As always, please take care of yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends. Do what you gotta do to be safe. And we hope, oh, lordy do, we hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, dear ones.